fourth session, which is Life on Two Wheels. So it is going to be delivered. Uh, Actually, it is going to be delivered by engineer Manish Devnath. So what does it mean by life of two wheels? Actually, we are in our human form and we are having several type of responsibilities like family responsibility, career responsibility, in short, occupational responsibilities, right? And there is one more responsibility that we are ignoring completely. So we will know about that responsibility in this session. It is very interesting. So stay tuned with us. So uh, about our speaker, I want to introduce him. He is a great scientist in the Department of Land and Water Management Engineering at National Rice Research Institute, NRRI, Cuttack, Odisha. He has completed his MTech in Soil and Water Conservation Engineering, from IERI, New Delhi. Presently, he is in service PhD candidate, PhD scholar in the Department of Soil and Water Conservation Engineering at IERI, New Delhi. About his academic career, he has scored third rank in the ARS examination. He has scored second rank in ICAR NET examination. He also scored first rank in the IERI PhD entrance examination. He scored third rank in ICAR JRF exam. He remained topper in his master's and PhD courses. He have published a number of paper, book, chapters, etc. in a good research journals. Talking about his spiritual practices, he is practicing mantra meditation since 2012. He is sincerely involved in devotional services also. He completed his certified IDC course of Bhagavad Gita. He is a keen learner of Bhagavad Gita. He's practicing it daily. Along with that, he has conducted several spiritual seminars at IERI for the benefit of all youth present over here. So, without any delay, I want to welcome our great speaker, Engineer Manish Devnath. I welcome you, sir. Um, uh, Sorry, there is some technical issue. So there is some delay. I'm sorry for that. Just a moment, please.
Good evening to everyone. Am I audible now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Well, sorry for the interruption. There will be some interruptions from technological issues, but anyway, so welcome you all to this wonderful session after we had 3 consecutive lecture series. And yesterday there was a mind-blowing session. Yes, how to manage the distractions. And we came to know about 2 programs, new programs. One was new program. Although those were computer students, they know about Java. But another program we came to know that was Merzava, right? So there are 2 programs we came to know, Java and Merzava. Most of the people we are in the platform of Merzava right now, but we have to come to the platform of Java, and this program is basically designed for all of them. So those who have joined, I think it's a good session. Hopefully it will be. So I'm just sharing the screen and we'll start our session. Okay, it's just taking a few seconds. So yes, so welcome once again, everyone. Those who have joined, so they are really going to ride on 2 wheels. Yes, so our today's session is 2 wheels, life on 2 wheels, and let us start. That somebody of you might be thinking about what the 2 wheels might be. Are they the latest versions of maybe the motor vehicles or the Ola electric vehicles that are in market now? So riding those vehicles, yes, and like the heroes in the movies we see, whether like maybe Rajnikant or maybe the movies of Dhoom 1, Dhoom 2 and Dhoom 3, many series have been coming. So whether this is a life right on the cycles, and yesterday Amog Lila Prabhuji, he has told about what our situation is if we get a free highway, how we run through. So is this the case? We are going to discuss. So let us pass through our themes, what we are going to actually discuss about. So first we'll see why we need to live on 2 wheels. And that is really very important to live a peaceful life. And second, what are these 2 wheels of life? Uh, whether they are different from what we have shown in the second slide. And some of the successful people, those who actually run their life in 2 wheels. And then how to strengthen the wheels. Basically, the second wheel will put our emphasis. And some of the stories we'll share, we'll try to know how this second wheel is important for every one of our life. And then some practical aspects or knowledge, what as a student we can take out and by adapting this second wheel, and then we'll come to our conclusion section. So first, to start with, why we need to live on 2 wheels if we want to live a peaceful life. So if we compare every one of our life, basically most of those who have joined, some are students, and some of us are in job life. But while running through life, actually there will be situations. Some will be something good. We feel from front that these are good things, but basically in behind, if we see, these are not as much good. And some directly we understand that something are bad. So it's a mixture of good and bad. And everyone, I think none of us will be excluded from the 3 things actually in life. And what are those? This is first one is the natural hazards. So everyone is subjected to heat, cold, flood, and then other natural disasters like drought and many things. And second, some disturbances we actually get from some of the people or animals. Sometimes we think that some people are good, but from behind actually they have a different form. So they will react in a manner, but in behind they have a different way. And most of us, those who are students, maybe in our school days, we have seen those things that everywhere there will be some quarrels. So maybe starting from school life to our professional life, everywhere. And also there are some disturbances which we cannot avoid, and these are disturbances coming from some kinds of animals, like animal bitings and all those things. And third important, most importantly, which actually we can control over. Actually, these previous things we may not have control over, but here some control we may have. So these are some bodily and mental diseases, and these things, in a certain extent, we can control over some diseases and some mental disturbances, but these are the obstacles that comes to our life and create many problems to our life. And this has been given in Bhagavad Gita. It has been elaborately studied, and many thousand years back, actually those three things has been already summarized and given, that if a human life is there, then three unavoidable disturbances will be there. Life is there, so there will be some disturbances. And what are those disturbances? One is called Adhibhautik clash. This is disturbance created by some humans or animals we have seen. And Adi Daivik clash, that is coming out from natural imbalances. And third is Adhyatmic clash, that is disturbance coming out from body and mind. And this is very critical. This mind is so much disturbing everywhere, every time, being a student or being a service holder. So this disturbance is very much critical. We want to be we want to live a life which will be happy. We want to live a happier life, but these disturbances always create a problem. And in very first of our presentation, we have seen how these emotions or mental disbalances affect our health. So we have seen anger, actually it affects starting from blood pressure to headache, and also some stresses. If we have some negative stresses on mind, again it creates a higher likelihood of many physical or mental disorders. And some toxic emotions like anger and pulling down others, this mentality, so these also create a lot of problems. We have seen also that how these negative sources or emotions which are part which comes in a pathway of our life, like disappointment, frustration, how it affects our different body parts. We have seen it affects the pituitary gland and then have a negative effect on our health. And we have seen anger weakens liver, then grief lungs, then worry weakens stomach, and so on. Fear weakens our kidneys. But to remain in a happier life, there are four cues of concern we have again discussed about, but this is for the information those who have joined newly for today's session specifically. So we spoke about four quotients. This is intelligent quotient, emotional quotient. But recently, what focus has been given by the psychiatrists is like social quotient and the adversity quotient. So many times it is being seen that we are not able to maintain a good network, maybe social network, due to different disturbances, and also we are not able to pass through the rough patches that comes to our life. But if we cannot handle these two things, then we cannot think about of becoming happy, whether we are earning or whether we are having all the material things in our life. And this is a critical flow chart. We can see this is some American based statistics, what it says actually. So those the suicide rate worldwide, basically from the state of America, this says that farming and fishery and forestry sector, it is the most alarming situation, that if there are 100 peoples, then around 85 peoples, they somewhere get through those critical phases in life, like suicide and all those things. And it is not limited to this farming sector, it is included in every sector, starting from arts, design, sports, computer and mathematical, that is in study sector, transportation and management. Now if we come to our Indian condition, this is rather very critical compared to maybe some other developed countries. So recently there was a study by a renowned psychiatrist who belongs to this Harvard Medical School. And what he told in one of the news session, he told that in India, suicide peaks in young people. So in recent days, this suicide rate is just going on increasing. We think that we are happy, but in life, certain issues, something comes somewhere, and if you are not able to maintain those situations, that these critical phases one has to pass through. So this is not that today I am safe and tomorrow maybe everything will all right, but for that we have to find out the ways that if these things arises, then also how to remain happy. And what does this World Health Organization tells about the health definition? That tells that health is not concerned only with the absence of disease. Generally, we speak that if we are disease free, then we are healthy. It is not the case. So, what WHO actually WHO tells that to remain healthy means to remain physically, mentally, as well as socially socially healthy. So three things are important. So we can make a pair out of it. Two things, first two, like physical and social, can be categorized into one, and the mental into second categories. We are just trying to speak now, correlate based upon these things, that how, then what are the two wheels? Okay, if this is the condition that to remain healthy always, we need to balance all the three aspects. Then there might be some criteria based on which we can manage all the three situations and remain healthy. So for that, actually two wheels are important. And what are those two wheels? To understand these, let us go through this flow chart. If we look at our own compositions, that means how we are constituted or comprised with, actually, if we see our compositions, then we are comprised with two things. The things we can see, that is a gross body, we can see it, and the another one we cannot see, but rather we can perceive it. Amongst these two categories, again, one event we cannot perceive, we can perceive, but we do not have much idea about it. So one is soul. This is the basic living force, which creates a distinction between a dead and material body. And another thing, what every one of us we know, this is mind, intelligence, and ego. We speak about this, we perceive about these things. So what the connection between the previous slide and here is that if we want to remain, as per WHO recommendations, that if we want to remain physically, socially, and mentally happy or mentally healthy, then we have to actually work on these both two aspects. So first one is the soul, the basic living force. This is spiritual energy within our body. And the second thing, what we see or perceive, this is material energies. So we have to handle both the situations or both the energies to remain happy. This is the one of the slide you might have seen in all of our previous presentations. Dulamani sir, Manjuna sir, they have shown. So here comes the role of intelligence, that how actually intelligence will play a role to maintain a healthy condition amongst the three different situations. So first we see that there are different senses, sense organs, eyes, nose, tongue, ears, skin. They always are ready to accept something, whatever they like, based upon the dictation of mind, what it says, what is directs to the senses. But more than mind, actually there is one controller of mind, that is intelligence. It can become a controller or it can become a servitor as well, depends on how our intelligence is, if it is purified or if it is really directed towards the higher principles, then it can control the mind. And at last we have the soul. So here the intelligence makes the decision. If we are knowledgeable, if we know how to control the mind. So if we can control the mind through intelligence, then actually there will come a balance between what we have seen, that amongst the three sectors or three different parts of physical, social, and mental happiness. Let us see once again in this particular slide. So how about these two wheels, actually, how to deal with or how to describe these two wheels? Basically, we have seen as per WHO recommendation that we have to be mentally, physically, And also we have seen the three things. Socially, we have to be well or healthy. So now here comes the rule of the two wheels, what we are going to speak about. These are the two wheels. Those are actually important in our life. So in Bhagavad Gita, it has been told about that everyone needs to work out, but they needs to perform some prescribed work, that is called prescribed duties. Somebody asked in first presentation also that how to decide that whether should I less desire or more desire. So here comes the rule that yes, if we have some duties prescribed or some guidance we get from some higher people, seniors, that what to do, what not to do, and if we do these things, then only we do something good, right? So prescribed duties can be categorized into two now. So these are the two wheels basically we are speaking about. So prescribed duties one has to follow, but now it has divided into two wheels. What are those? One is occupational duties, that is in bodily level. Again, we'll refer back WHO definition. So bodily level means we are maintaining this physical and social health, healthy or social well-being. We are looking after these, and if we perform the spiritual duties, then we are looking after the mental well-being. So here comes the rule based upon the scientific criterias that what two wheels are important in our life. And our session is mantra of life, adding value. So if we add spirituality in our life, it will definitely add value to our life, and that will help performing good in our occupational duties as well. Now, what are those things? If we describe it, occupational duties means being a student to study well, or being an official to perform our duties officially well. And if we speak about spiritual duties, what are those actually? Through spiritual activities, we generally strengthen our intelligence so that it can direct the mind, and whatever situations, maybe some destructive situations comes in our life, we can handle out this. And that is why the spiritual intelligence is very much important. So occupational duties, it will help maintaining physical and social health. And if we speak about spiritual duties, it will help us to maintain a good mental health and also the spiritual health. So these two things are therefore very much important. What we neglect being a student, generally we neglect the second part, but this is very much important. So once again, just to correlate, to remain healthy as per WHO recommendation, we have to actually live healthy in two ways. First is bodily level, and another one is intellectual level. And intellectual level, here comes a rule of some higher principles. Those who are not, those who we generally do not get from our general course works, but these things is important. So that comes from scriptures or some important books like Bhagavad Gita. Yes, so it will help us to increase the intellectual or emotional positivity it will create. So if we read out those scriptural things, what has been given, higher principles, it will create emotional positivity, which is very much important to remain mentally healthy, right? So we are concerning both the scientific things and how from the literatures or the most important valuable books we can link this. So if we speak about now from this chart, physical and social health, how we can maintain it is through occupational duty. But what we neglect generally, it is emotional positivity through intellectual level. We have to actually work on spiritual duty. This is very much important. Now let us take some of the successful people. Generally we look after that if is there any examples of some of the successful people, those who lives on two wheels? Is it the case, or is it the thing that some people, those who do not have any work, they just go and reading something like higher principles we are speaking about? So let us see. You know about this very materially what to say, profound and healthy lifestyle living person. He is known as Alfred Ford. Many of you are fond of vehicles, and that is why you have started with two vehicles showing in second slide. So this is the biggest manufacturer of these automobiles, luxury vehicles, commercial vehicles, and many more things. Worldwide, they have the manufacturing hub starting from India. And what his life, real life, if we see, he is the some executive council member of that very big company, which is a multi-billion dollars company. But he, if we look after this picture particularly, he actually takes messages from Bhagavad Gita. So he is spiritually inclined. So both materially and spiritually, he is sound. Second, again, this famous person we know about, most of you joined through his lecture only. He is Dr. Vivek Bindra, a big industrial trainer who gives training to lakhs of people worldwide, and one of the most topmost trainer from Asian countries. What he says about Bhagavad Gita, see once again, he says that Bhagavad Gita is one of the best motivational book. So he also lies on two wheels, like material and both spiritual. Another one, the Prakash Industries chairman and executive director, Dr. Ved Prakash Agarwal. We have a fortune sometimes to meet with him also. Yes, so he is also practicing, although they are materially so sound, but still they practices the spiritual life. They live a balanced life. And another one is those who are fond of kitchen material, yeah, making their kitchen very well. So this is the person actually from India who designs, who give good design for the kitchen material, high standard kitchen material. He is none other than Mr. Binod Jain. He got many international, some of his customers you can see starting from Mahendra Singh Dhani, then Ranbir Kapoor, and many persons. I have just mentioned a few people, those who uses his products, and he has got many of the international awards. What he says about spirituality is that the real design inspiration he gets for the material he gives the design, it comes from spirituality and Bhagavad Gita. So we can go through the website, you will find out how he gives the very healthy design for the kitchens, but he says that spirituality is the driving force which helps him to give a better design. And another one, so those who are students here, they might be telling that we are speaking about some industrialists, some trainers. What about some of the teachers or maybe some of the students? Why don't we speak about this? And this is the fellow, no better person is there. I think we can discuss about this person, who is Professor Ravi M. Gupta, and he is also known as Radhika Raman Das. So he is one of the youngest MA degree holder from the University of Oxford. At the age of 17, when we enter in graduation, maybe colleges, that time he completed his MA degree. And he is the youngest PhD also from the same university. So materially, he is very much sound in knowledge in his studies. And if we go through his teachings, awards, and honors, this is innumerable. These things are innumerable. We can browse through the internet. And what his research and publications he focuses, actually he focuses on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and his advisors to some spiritual councils of University of Florida, and then College of William and Mary, then Utah State University, Maxwell Institute. Those were highly developed or highly recognized universities, those who comes within 100 rankings worldwide. So he is visiting faculty over there, but what he studies basically is these things, the principles from Bhagavad Gita and spirituality. Now, if we have seen that what these two things, two wheels are, and how people they generally depend upon. Now, how to strengthen, if we speak about how to strengthen these two wheels, basically the second wheel, what we are neglecting, the spiritual will, the spiritual content, how to improvise this. Basically, in our life, whenever there is some situation comes, we do two things. Some people, they will directly react over this, and some people, they will respond over this. But the first one is not good. Reacting is not good. We need to respond over this. But critical situations will be coming in our life. So we see that some people they react in such a way that they are the winner in the whole world. But some people will respond in a nice way that we even do not come that they have achieved something. So here comes the play of intelligence. We have seen previously that it is bigger than, or it has dominancy over mind. If we train the intelligence to tackle over the situations or to direct the minds if some situations comes in our life, so how to handle the situations by training the intelligence. Here comes the rule of second will. This is, we need to take some training and education, as most of you have joined being a student, to receive some knowledge how we can actually handle different situations or sharpen our intelligence. So we have to take some knowledge from higher principles, higher books like Bhagavad Gita, through training and education as you are attending. So through that, actually, we can sharpen the intelligence, what good and what is bad. We can discriminate about these two things, and then we will learn how to respond. Then we will not react over this. And based upon this, we'll be able to handle the practical situations, whether it is favorable or unfavorable, both the things. And how to actually then how to sharpen this intelligence, as we have seen, it is important factor. So these three things we have shown in the first session as well, but those were new again for them, that we need to develop some spiritual quotient, because we are referring the WHO definition of being healthy. Yes, so we have seen to remain socially, physically, as well as mentally healthy. And to remain mentally healthy without developing the spiritual quotient, it is impossible. We'll see in our later part what Einstein has to say about this. So how to develop this spiritual quotient? We have to develop some relationship with persons who have realized or who are actually practicing the things that are really helpful, and they have taken knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, and they're all practicing some kinds of meditation. We have spoke about the mantra meditation. These three things are important. If we practice these three things, then it is sure that we are going to have a good life, because even though there are disturbances in life, we'll be able to maintain the things. Just to refresh back, we have seen 4 Qs in happiness. So social quotient and adversity quotient are important to maintain. So here plays spiritual quotient a role, and it will help actually maintaining balance between intellectual intelligence and emotional intelligence. So if we improvise the spiritual quotient only, then it will help us sharpen our intelligence, which will afterwards further help us to discriminate what is good, whether to react or whether to respond, and how to respond. So these things are important in our life. Well, so now we want to see some good small stories, how depending on two wheels are important in our life. So two small stories, we want to just show it. First, story one, it goes sharpening the axe, which is equivalent to intelligence through Bhagavad Gita, sharpening intelligence to Bhagavad Gita. There was a construction company, so they gave a task to some of their labor groups, that we need to go for construction, but there are some trees, but they are authenticated. They have got authenticated license, also they can cut through those things so that they can go for construction. So they have appointed some people and given some task to some people. Some were actually knowing each other previously, but one fellow, he is not much knowing about others, but he is also a part of this project, so he also joined. So the first day work starts, and here the group of people, they could cut this many trees. If we look after here, around 5 people, and they could cut around 6 trees. This fellow, what he did in between in the daytime, while everyone is busy cutting the trees, they are getting tiresome, but still they are continuing, thinking that yeah, we are going to be doing much more than what the other fellow is going to do. But this fellow is intelligent. What he did actually, in while he comes also, he sharpen his axis. And in between, while the work is going on, he goes in between, he disappears. Others are whispering, this fellow has gone. He will not be able to complete the project. And the project was like this: as many trees you cut, you get the money based upon this. But he is intelligent. What he did actually, in between, he went behind during, suppose, lunchtime, everyone is enjoying, but other people, they are going on cutting. But these people, this person, he went and he sharpens his axe. Now see the things what he did actually after he comes back, and how his target is. It is the evening time. So we have seen in previously evening time, 5 people, they have cut 6 trees. And this fellow, he goes in between, he goes for sleep as well for half an hour in between. But the thing what he does is he sharpens his axe. And here we can compare the two things in the evening. So it is the first day, second day, third day, consecutively it happens like this. And these people, those who are making fun of this fellow, then they approached this fellow, and he told that, what you are doing, man? Then we are working for whole day, but we are not able to cut as many trees. What the specialty you are doing? The man then replied that, I go for, you people think I am going to lunch. That time generally I go and I sharpen my axe. So this how actually, if we sharpen the axe, so it is giving a faster rate of cutting rate as compared to others. But their instrument, it is going blunt, as whole day they're cutting the things, they are not sharpening. So from this story, actually, what lesson we can learn is that, like sharpening the axe, sharpening our knowledge or positive emotions through spirituality or spiritual question in life is important. What he was doing, he sharpened his axis. So similar way, we come across many negativities, many things in our day-to-day life. But if we do not sharpen our intelligence through spirituality or spiritual things, then we will remain blunt like other people, and we will not be able to perform as good as like this fellow was doing. Let us move towards the second story. Yesterday, Manjunath sir has told about this big, great fighter, about Arjuna. So we'll speak about hitting the bird's eye by Arjuna. So in childhood, they are under one teacher known as Dronacharya. Most of you might be knowing. So, but Arjuna was a little extraordinary because he is most focused, respectful to his teachers, and he is inclined towards spiritual things. So he has some different intelligence than others. So Dronacharya once he used to teach them how to, play this bow, and how to go for hunting and all. So how to fight, because they are Kshatriya. So being Kshatriya, it is their duty. So once he called upon all the 5 brothers along with Arjuna, and he asked one by one. First, he started with Yudhishthir, then Vim, then Nakul, Sahadev, everyone. Every one of them, he were asking that, what could you see? Actually, first of all, he put a wooden bird in a tree, and he wanted to test how their skill is. So he asked everyone that, what are you seeing actually? One by one, Arjuna came at the last. So everyone tells that, well, our eyes is good, we can see everything. We can see starting from sky to everything, the trees, and even you too. So then Dronacharya told, okay, you come aside. One by one, everyone is telling that our eyesight is good, so we are able to see everything. But at last, Dronacharya was looking something different. Some person who is focused, some person which intelligence is sharp, so that he can concentrate upon this bird only, not other things. So he then called upon Arjuna and asked, what about you, Arjuna? What do you see? He told that I am not able to see anything. I am not able to see anything except one thing only, this bird. Then Dronacharya confirmed 4, 5, 6 times, and sure, once again, is it not the case that your eyes are going blur or you are not able to see? But he replied consistently that no, Actually, I am all perfect. My eyes are perfect, and I can see only the eyes of the bird. So Dronacharya became very happy, and he told that you just shoot, and he just shooted, and he became the winner. So from this story, what we again we can learn, actually, this concentration power or focus also matters. Being a student or being a performer in different sectors, but to make this concentration power or focus sharpened, there also is a requirement of some spiritual vision. What Arjuna was having, although others were also having, but he was having some extraordinary vision or spiritual vision, and he was also a student of Bhagavad Gita, perfect student. We'll see this. Arjuna performed consistently from student life to his job life as a best performer. Yes, although in battlefield of Kurukshetra, but the thing is that I want to tell here is that in everyone's life, although it seems that we are perfect, but if we are not depending on the spiritual things or spiritual knowledge, sometimes some situations will come, will become confused what to do, what not to do, and that happened in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. There are two different parties, and Arjuna became nervous that I don't want to fight after seeing that, although he was a so perfect fighter. Then he asked back, he took suggestion from his friend, very near and dear friend Krishna, and he told that you have to fight. So he gave knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in this session, and Arjuna became perfect. He started working, and he won the battle. And others, demigods were also, they were so much pleased that he got a award after this, you know. So he was given this Gandivo bow, through which actually he fought in this battlefield. So based upon seeing his skills and sharpness, this Varun Dev actually he gave this bow. We are concerned about best student award and all those things. So Arjuna got those things. Again, we know about those who are sport persons. For them, the best award is the Arjuna award. And where from this came from, actually? This came from this great man Arjuna, who actually followed Bhagavad Gita in his life and succeeded. But we mostly think about this award and all, but we are not concerned about how his lifestyle was. Actually, basically, he was dependent on both the wheels, spiritual and also his occupational wheels. And that is why we should learn from these stories that spiritual will is very much important in our life. Just to move further and conclude within a short while, let us see some practical things what I got in my life from studying the Bhagavad Gita, receiving knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, by getting the knowledge from Bhagavad Gita teacher who used to come in our campus in IARI, and some of the senior members, those who helped me actually to understand those factors. While I was in MTech, basically I was many branched. Some of my friends came and they told that why don't you prepare for this exam, that exam, prepare for some jobs. But being a student, actually our first focus is to study. I was just many branched. But when I came to this class, our seniors, including our this very knowledgeable Bhagavad Gita teacher, what he told actually that being a student, we should focus on our studies. So this is our first priority. And if we practice spirituality, we should excel in our studies. So that is what actually the inspiration I got from him. And this was from actually the verses of Bhagavad Gita 2.41, which is mentioned here, which tells that the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So if we move here and there, that means our intelligence is not resolute. We need to sharpen our intelligence, and thereby we get success. Right? Another is how to become a good student like Arjuna. So there also is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita that one should approach with respect to a teacher, basically a spiritual teacher. He should learn the things, how to sharpen his intelligence so that he can decide which one is good and which one is bad, and based upon that he can perform. And this also much in my studies, in my student life, and still it is helping, and I could score good as well in my PhDs and ARS exam as well. This was a good preparation. Lastly, I want to give a small story and then we want to end up. Yes. So as first of all, we started with this story of Zava and Marzava. Yes. So this is a story again based upon Zava and Marzava. There is a story of a person who was an engineering student. Consider him like a computer science background. So he is concerned about Java, but in between he fell a trap of Marzava, right? So what happened actually, he was a brilliant student, and I have heard this from my Bhagavad Gita teacher. So I want to share with all of you. This is very interesting. He was a very brilliant student, but somehow he fell trap of one of his student friend. She was not in topper list, but that fellow was in top list. But she approached somehow to him, and he got in trap of her, and then he started helping her. But gradually what happens, actually he forgot his own study rather than helping her. Every time he started helping her, so thought changed. Yesterday Amog Lila Prabhuji told about focus interview. If we are asked about focus, what is focus, so this fellow's focus was something else. And after that, what happened actually, gradually, so this student, she topped in the exam, she got a very good job, but that fellow were neglected. Once she got a beautiful job, then she actually, what she did actually, she did something wrong to that fellow. She married somebody else, although they were committed before, but she married to her boss actually. And that fellow, he became so sad. He thought that I don't want to keep my life, I just want to give up my life. And once he was so much depressed that he thought of, today I am going to give my life. But fortunately he had some spiritual persons in his life. While he was studying, actually he was in touch with some of the people, and now also this happens miraculously when he went out from his home just to commit suicide. So that times actually those devotees came, and those devotees asked, what is happening to with you? Then he told, narrated the things, and they gave him some valuable solutions, and they told that we are giving you one solution to all problems. And what is that? They told that you just go for mantra meditation and you read Bhagavad Gita. They gave some scriptural things and thoughts, and then he came out from this trap, and he became this they became the savior of this person. So this is also a real life story, that in life actually it happens. Many times we pass through many situations, but we need to balance the two things. If we do not have, if we lack the spiritual things, then we are going to lose something. And this is one old model of cycle. Yes. So I want to show that how our life is at present. So previously it used to be like this, one small front wheel and a big rear wheel. Our present status is like this, that we are running after this big wheel. This is effort for material gains. We want power, position, everything, but we put very less concentration to this small wedge. But this arrow, the width of the arrow actually, it determines what is important. So more weight means it is more focus should be given, but we are giving very less focus on this, and as a result actually the imbalances is there. If somebody rides this cycle, there will be imbalances, there is not much balance. And this everything actually, the behind reason is these factors, these culprits actually, false ego. We have told about this: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and enviousness. So maybe from other persons or maybe from within ourselves it is coming, and because of which we are passing through these difficult phases in life, sometimes committing some bad things, suicide and all those things people are doing, as statistics says. So we have to come out from this trap, and we have to, if we have must have to follow this fellow Albert Einstein, what he says, that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking, but we have to think something bigger than that if we want to solve this. And that is why if we run behind this bigger wheel of cycle after material things, it will not solve the problem. We have to think something different, and that is the spiritual wheel we have to think about. Mahatma Gandhi also gave so much stress on Bhagavad Gita and spiritual things, so we are not going to repeat the things, but everyone is giving. Last, to conclude with, what the two wheels in our life? two things very important. If we do not follow, then we will be like this front wheel wala cycle. This will be small and we'll be having disbalances in our life. So we have to perform occupational duty as well as spiritual duty, both side by side together. Then only we have a perfect life, a good life. Otherwise, we end up with imbalances in our life. And the thing which help in spiritual upliftment is again developing spiritual quotient through Bhagavad Gita and association of the persons, those who are expert in those things. We are lucky, we are also having expert guidance, and you have been brought to this platform, so you also please take up this benefit of this. And third is performing some mantra meditation. Last, we conclude here that to get a balance in our life, we need to actually strengthen both the wheels, and we need to therefore get trained by people, those who practices some of the spiritual things like Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. And thereby, if we learn to respond and not to react, if we learn to defeat the anger, jealousy, enviousness, then we become permanently happy, what we are searching in our day-to-day life. And therefore, develop a better personality by strengthening the second will, developing and uplifting this spiritual quotient and knowledge. So thank you so much. This is what about our life on two wheel. We have some good announcement for our next program, Bhagavad Gita session, as some people they were asking in our first session itself that how we can get some online link. We have our teacher, Bhagavad Gita teacher with us. He is Grace Pandaprem Prabhuji, and we want to welcome and invite Prabhuji to please Prabhuji speak about our program, what way we can actually give benefit to our student friends and how we should proceed actually. So it will be a great benefit for every one of us, Prabhuji. So thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Manishu, for your very valuable words of wisdom. Although in this age of Kali, very few are inclined to receive which is actually valuable. The stars are so many in the sky, but they cannot illuminate the sky. One moon is sufficient to illuminate and remove the darkness which dispels the entire night. So thank you for your effort. Before I speak, I would, give an opportunity to the audience, those who want to have any question or inquiry based on your talk today. So let us have a question and answer session first, and then maybe I'll try and share some inspirational thoughts with you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, so dear friends, if you have some comments about this program, if you have learned something also, you can respond. Yes, and you can put your comments, or if you want something more, you can ask even. So you are welcome.
There are few questions I want to read out, sir. Yeah. Sir, you told to follow spiritual practices, but we don't have much time to do so.
Okay, so it's a matter of, I'll refer back to yesterday's presentation. Manjunath sir has given a wonderful session, how to manage distractions and how to effectively manage time. So 24 hours is for everyone. And we have seen some extraordinary persons, those who are managing their job life, student life. Yes, Mr. Gupta, we have seen, he is a very good, great scholar, student, but how they are managing. So it is all about, if I remember correctly, I think that was the second quadrant what Manjunath sir has told yesterday. We are taught this in our NAM training, so I can recall back this. Is we have to give preference what is important in our life, and there is something urgent, there is something important, but we need to give focus on important things as well, right? So if we feel that spirituality is important, then there is nothing which will be a stumbling block that will create a problem that we cannot practice. We also, being a student, I also got inspired from Manjunath sir and Dulamani sir. Everyone, they were student, they were practicing. So why you will not get time? Definitely you are going to get time. Be in touch with us. We'll help you, guide you how to find time and practice spirituality as well, right? You will have a wonderful life ahead. So definitely we'll get time. Just thing is that we need to learn how to manage the things. Yes, so thank you so much. Be in touch with us. We are going to help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. The second question is from your first answer only. Sir, you are a scientist. How do you manage your time to both job and job or research duty and spiritual duties?
There are some people called nightmares, those who want to work at night. Okay, so for them 24 hours is less, but we have been given training by our spiritual teacher. Our teacher is with us today. Fortunately, he's here and guiding us, and our seniors are there. So it is not difficult. Even though official hours is 8 hours, even though if we give 10 hours, sometimes there is some presentations, some meetings we need to give, but then it is not then more than 10 hours we can work, and 10 hours is sufficient. So thing is, we can take one message from this story of sharpening the axe. Actually, if we sharpen our knowledge, and we come to know that in office timing also, some people, they go for high tea, so-called high tea, and many things they go for those things, and leisure time. So if we practice that, not to waste those times and effectively use those times in office, then that is sufficient, I think so. If you work for 10 hours also, this is going to be a good time in office. And after that, in morning hours, we have nothing to do with. So if we wake up in the morning, thing is that I spoke about nightmares. If we wake up till night 2 and 3 a.m., then it is difficult. But if we sleep early, I'll refer back to Dulamani sir's presentation. If we sleep early, wake up early, then there is not an issue. Before office timing also, we can do our practice. And being a student also, the first questions, one answer to you, that if we manage time, sleeping, waking up, then we get time. And morning also we can practice. So before 8 or 9, you finish up your spiritual practice. Whole day is yours. So whole day you can work. There is not an issue. So I think that is how we can manage, and that is how I try to manage. Even I sometimes, if I get back through some situations, I take guidance from our teachers. They help us, so it becomes easy. Yes. So thank you so much. I think hopefully got your answer. It is easy to manage if we have some higher guidance actually.
Uh, One message is for you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful lecture while giving us practical aspects of student life. My question is that we all know that if we are more focused on our goal, we will get success. But one single distraction have that much of capability in order to divert our mind into a wrong direction. So how we can manage to or control our mind, brain or mind?
For this there is a whole session of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, that has been planned, how to train the mind, how to sharpen the intelligence. So we invite your presence in our sessions to come. You please participate, join, you will get the practical solution out of it. So it will definitely help, right? Thing is that we have to just manage our intelligence, train our intelligence, as we have seen from this very famous, rather I would say it is famous because every one of our previous speakers, they have shown this slide, this mind, intelligence, senses and soul. So if we make mind the master, so then we are becoming the loser. We are getting through distractions. But if we make intelligence to drive our mind, then distractions, whatever powerful distractions may be, we can cross through. but their constant practice is required, like mantra meditation, and then hearing the knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. So every day if we hear, it will give so much of energy. In front of those negative energies, one stumbling block is nothing to do with. So we can overcome.
To perform spiritual duties, why we should read Bhagavad Gita? Can we read Bible or Quran or Guru Granth Sahib, etc.?
See, we are basically from science background, and wherever there will be science is being spoken, we just concentrate upon them. Being a student, I found Bhagavad Gita is important because it starts with the theory and explaining the theories behind the Big Bang and starting from everything, the stars, galaxies. We speak today about the physics. Those who are students of physics, they spoke about multiverses. These things also being mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So in that small book, every knowledge is given there. So why not to read about this? If we get something extraordinary knowledge from the small book and we do not have time, that's fine. But I don't think being a student, as somebody was telling, that we don't have much time. So thing is that let us concentrate one thing. Let us first start with Bhagavad Gita. If you find every solutions, if Gandhiji could found every solution from there, then why need to go to other things? It is not required. Yes. So our leaders are showing that this one
not
book is
audible,
sufficient.
Manish sir. You're not audible.
I am not audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible for us. You're audible.
Okay. Okay,
sir.
so there are might be some internet issues. Okay. So yes, so this is the thing, that if leaders are showing that, they got benefit, definitely. That is why they are telling, if the honorable prime minister, he tells every platform, and if a big public speaker like Vivek Bindraji, he speaks to the industrialists everywhere throughout the world, that read this motivational book and get success, get something good out of it. Why not to follow this? So this book is sufficient. uh, we are still smaller as compared to those experienced persons, so we should learn from them, and just let us start from the experience they are sharing, and starting with Bhagavad Gita will be well. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Next question. I'm eating non-veg regularly. Can I touch or read Bhagavad Gita? Or is there any rules or regulation to read it? Please tell me if any.
Well, this is a good question. I think most of the people, they start from non-vegetarian background. Once we have the knowledge, that only we think the value of, we know the value of why vegetarian diet and why all those things. But definitely, if you just have eaten, you didn't wash your hand and you just pick up the book of Bhagavad Gita, that is not nice. Of course, if it is better, not to just have this, what to tell, you can read, there is not an issue. You can read Bhagavad Gita, because most of us, we started in this way only. Although maybe we are not meat eaters, but eating teas, chocolates, many things we started with, but then it is never restricted. It's a manual of life. So nowhere it has been written that it is restricted to this particular fellow or particular caste or maybe countries. For everyone it is applicable. So start with. So if you feel something about that, should I read, or you are feeling hesitant about this, try to hear from somebody at the start. So we have the expert teachers in our group. His Grace Pranab Prem Prabhuji and all are there. So I think we can take their guidance, and we can hear also starting. Gradually we can overcome those things, eating and all. And then I think we can go on. So, but we can study, there is not an issue. We can study.
One comment is for you, sir. Thank you, sir, for a beautiful lecture. My question is how to use Bhagavad Gita in our daily life and connect with it at every situation.
This will learn in our sessions to come. We have 18 sessions. Arjuna also took many sessions before, coming to the fact that yes, what my friend Krishna is telling, it is the fact, it is the truth, I shall accept now and then proceed towards. So it's not a single day event, but we are fortunate enough that our teachers are so much, guiding force. They have devised this course in 18 sessions. So in 18 sessions, you will get to learn a lot of things. And that is why once again, I'll invite you to join these sessions. You will learn the practical things. Bhagavad Gita is a practical manual. It's nothing theoretical. So everything is practical, everything is required. Just go on appearing, participating, you will be learning.
One question is how to develop a spiritual vision so that we can concentrate more on our work.
Yes, so for that, actually, we need to have some guidance as this group is being created for giving or creating some guidance. If we are not able to, give you that much, but we have our teachers in our group, so they will be guiding you all how to proceed in the spiritual path, a beautiful journey, and definitely we'll learn. So be with us in our next all the sessions, and you will learn definitely.
Okay, sir. Actually, we are having some more announcements, so we will stop here the question answer session. So
Yes, please carry on.
yeah, so I'll request Pandey Prabhuji to just bless us with your few words.
Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be amongst all of you, and I'm very inspired to see the genuine spirit to learn. This is very important. As we have the intent and the desire to learn, we can progress. There is no doubt. With the desire comes the determination. And how to receive this determination is through association. As I was also in the similar background as you are. But after coming in association, we can see things change. I'll cite one story for all of you. We all know most of all of you are from the scientific background. You are aspiring to be scientists to contribute for India's progress. Once there was an elderly person. This is an episode in the city of Chennai. In Chennai, there is a beach, and this elderly person, he was seated on a bench in a beach in Bangalore, Chennai, and he was reading Bhagavad Gita. So while he was absorbed in his study of Bhagavad Gita, a young man happened to pass by and approach him. And this young man was seeming very enthusiastic. And he inquired from this elderly person that, Sir, why are you reading this book? Today is the age, the scientific age. And why you are studying this non-scientific book, which has no relevance in his life? So this elderly man, he did not, refute this young man, but he just, smiled. And he inquired from this young man that, may I know, young man, who you are and what you do? This young man, in his enthusiasm, rather in his overzeal, he said that I am a science devotee. I am a science devotee, and I am a student at Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and I want to contribute for India's success. This elderly man appreciated this young man, and after a while, what this young man saw that few cars came in, stopped where this old man was, and some armed guard came and surrounded this elderly person and escorted him in a car which was meant for a VIP because it had the sirens and bodyguards. So he was shocked that I was speaking to this man just a while before, and he seemed to look so ordinary. And what is it that he is being given such reception, such treatment? That so many armed personnel are coming, such a caravan of cars are coming to receive him. So he inquired from one of the guards as to who this person is. And those guards told him, don't you know him? He is Vikram Sarabhai. He is the chairman of Bhabha Atomic Research Center. This young man became shocked. And this story of this young man who was a science devotee, who became a devotee of devotee, that is Vikram Sarabhai, is none other than the greatest scientist of India, APJ Abdul Kalam Azad. And I heard it from his own mouth. He was decided he was a great follower of Bhagavad Gita. And it is so many motivational talks. We have recited about the glories of Bhagavad Gita. To those who are real scientists, they know that behind every creation, there is a creator. Behind this entire manifestation of the greatest model that we see, which we are always amazed, and we are, not able to see how, wonderfully everything is in harmony. This has not happened by big bang or by chance. It is a thought, it is a brain behind this creation. But the greatest scientist is who can see the cause behind this creation. And such scientists, they are the followers of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a universal guiding book for the entire humanity. It's like sun. Bhagavad Gita is compared to the sun. Who does not want to have the good of sun? If we do not have sun in our life is dark. Our life does not give any direction to us. The day the sun does not come out, we do not feel that there is any energy in our life. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita gives direction to our life. Bhagavad Gita teaches us to be able to discriminate what is right and what is wrong, what is to be done and what is not to be done. What is the path which we have to follow, and what are the evil paths which we have to get rid of. Bhagavad Gita gives us the intelligence, it gives us the vision, it gives us the direction. Bhagavad Gita is essential for all of us, as the sun is. And for the sun, there is no partiality. No one can say that the sun on the Pakistan side is low and then the Indian side is right. That the sun is required for a Brahmana or it is not required for a Vaishya. Everyone can receive as much light from the sun, provided he values the sun. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita can give us knowledge which we require, which we are lacking. Because of this lack of knowledge, we are suffering. We are struggling and wasting our life in those areas which do not require our attention. And in the quest of being misdirected, we are not able to pursue what is most required. Bhagavad Gita is like a torchlight. It shows us the path, how to reach perfection of the human form. So it is for one and for all. But the problem here is that in today's world, we are so much disconnected, we are so much misdirected, and we are so much on the wrong track that it has become very difficult for us to come on the track. But fortunate are those who hear and adhere. And once you start hearing Bhagavad Gita, within a short while you will be able to see that what is there in Bhagavad Gita for us. So that path, that direction, that vision, which we never had. You see, we do not know who we are. We think that we are this body, we are our mind, we are our post, we are our position. No. It is all temporary. It is constantly changing. But who we are, the eternal self, is never changes. Such a serious disconnect. The Bhagavad Gita connects us to our roots, to our foundation. Bhagavad Gita gives us the purpose of human life. Bhagavad Gita also gives us the path how to achieve perfection. My request to all of you is that please try to attend these courses which we have designed for you, and please invite all your near and dear ones, those for whom you care, for those whom you want that their life should be very purposeful and meaningful. So thank you all very much for attending these sessions, and I hope it has given you inspiration and definitely gain. If you have any great very businesses.
Uh,
Because
Prabhuji, your voice is not clear.
what he I hope it is better now. Can you hear me? I said if you have any question, you can inquire. I'll try to share with you my learnings.
Yes, so my dear friends, it is a very good platform that our teacher is here to give answers to your any queries or questions. So if you have any questions, further clarifications, you can ask. So Prabhuji will give a better reply to your queries if you have anything.
My request is that you all become ambassadors. You become ambassadors of knowledge. You see, in this material world, you will not find any ambassador. They are just promoting some brands. And what is the purpose of those brands? To serve some personal benefit. But you become an ambassador for the benefit of others by receiving this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and distributing this knowledge. You will be able to render such selfless service. It will satisfy you, it will do good to you, and whoever receives will get immense benefit. You try to enroll yourself in this course and you inspire others to enroll, and I assure you, each session will be worth its time that you will invest. There will be immense learning and immense impact. Okay, I will not delay any further. Would you like to conclude? You have some announcements, Sonika? Some announcement?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. One announcement is there that whosoever have got 1 to 5 rank in the quiz, they will got amazing surprise gift, and they will be getting it personally. So it will not be disclosed right now, but they will be definitely getting some surprising gift. So that's it, Prabhuji. So this is the end of our session. Thank you all for being the part of these 4 sessions, and due to you, we continued and completed our journey of this whole sessions. So thank you each one of you for being patient audience and being a part of this complete session with us. Thank you so much. I hope you all will be registering for Gita Made Easy session, and we will meet next Sunday in that informative lecture, informative session, and we will starting Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much.